Boca Reservoir, hidden beach. It's not hidden that well. I found it. Other people found it. Weird guy in the creeper van found it. This is the day use area. There are some campsites further away, and it looked like there's a couple of spots right off the exit at the interstate. Could be utilized. We may circle back and just hang out at one of those, but internet's not so hot here, so I've got to look up and see if I can find information on the campsites that are available. But nice little day use beach area. Hopefully it's not picking up too much wind, but you can see the water. It is a little windy. At the bottom of the reservoir, looking, I guess, north. If I read the map right, that should be north. Yeah, northish. And this comes across. Spillway will be down there, so we'll walk across the road. And there's your spillway when they decide to let water out. Some kind of trail across thing over there. I can get up over this fence. There we go. I don't know if that's a walking path or something we can walk on, but I'm going to go down there and take a look, but you may be able to see the interstate in the background there right before it goes up. But over this way beyond those buildings and around the corner, we're going to look for a little camping spot outside of this park. We are walking up on that little bridge that we saw from up on top of all those rocks. This one looks like fun. We get to look straight down as we walk. Throw you guys off the edge. Ugh! Splash. There's looking down. And walking path keeps going around there somewhere. Some kind of building over there. I guess enough water trickles through here even when it's shut off to allow a little bit of water to be here. But there's a path that goes that way to some little building. But before we walk there, this essentially is the parking area. There's a little porta potty there. This is technically before you pass the sign that says camping only in designated campgrounds. So I don't know if they would run you off from camping here. I don't know, but I don't think I'm going to push it. There is a trail that goes down under that, I don't know if you can see the graffiti way out there, but it goes under a train track out that way. But you can walk down there. But we're going to go over here for a minute and see what that little white spot is. Okay, I guess that's where the water comes through that little building and it pumps through there. But it's all off limits. See and say. It says if you come over this fence, I can call and get $25,000 and the U.S. government will send you to Canada where you will freeze to death and you'll be eaten by grizzly bears. I think that's what that says right there. I could be wrong. We are now going to walk down that little trail to go under the train tracks. Some sort of old building here. I don't want to call it ruins, but it's definitely ruined. A little bit of graffiti. Probably some sort of old pump house or something back in the day. Put a roof on it, chair and a couple tables, we'll be good to go. Somebody skiing. Interesting. Follow your dreams. Right through that hole. There's your dreams. Okay, out here looks a lot more like my dreams than it does in there. That's for sure. There's a tunnel under the train. Whoa, falling in a hole over here. There's a tunnel under the train tracks. Don't know how far it goes under there. See, the interstate's right there. Water keeps going. We're going to go ahead and walk back that way to the vehicle. Right across the street, there's the Boca Townsite Trail. And this has a parking area and a pit toilet. We'll walk up, see what that sign says over there. And here's the sign, Boca Townsite Interpretive Trail. Let y'all read that. Boom and bust of Boca. Quarter-mile long and takes you about 40 minutes. Some slow walkers. The remains of the Boca Cemetery. For the ones that weren't lucky enough to get out alive. They say this town was made up mostly of men. Seems women were smart enough to not come out here in the middle of nowhere. So eventually the men got lonely. Some of them died. And then they went back to their wives. The end. That may not be the entirely accurate history of the town. So off the interstate to the right, or the north side depending where that vehicle is in the distance, right behind those trees there's a double railroad track, but that's a spot. There's no signage. There was an RV there a little bit ago. I get stopped for a lunch break, but I came up this little hill right here and I'm actually right beside the interstate. See that semi going by, but with that land right there kind of blocking some of the noise, so it'll be a little bit quieter. And if those train tracks back there are the train tracks that I've been following for a good while now, you usually get a couple trains running through between 11 and midnight, and I'd rather be a little further away from that and a little closer to the interstate. But I made it up that little dip right there, which I probably wouldn't have been able to before I did that lift on the vehicle. It just with the bike on the back, it drags on everything. But yeah, it's a little flat spot here. I'm not gonna have a campfire or anything like that, but this is free. There are two campgrounds. There's two campgrounds out there. They're $20 a night. You get a fire ring and a park bench and I guess pit toilets. No running water. Anything fun like that. $20 a night seems a bit excessive for, that. It's all interpretation, opinion, but it's my opinion. That's mine. I own it. But if I were to pay and stay, I think I would choose the site on the west side, due to the fact that the wind comes from the west to the east, and with the trees on the west, you probably get a good wind block, where on the east side you're going to have all those winds right at you. But what do I know? Where I am at will be a little noisier, but I'm right on this river. Humboldt, I believe. And if you see right behind that, there's an old bridge that goes nowhere, but I want to go down there and take a look at it. It does appear at this area where we walk down under the train tracks, it does appear that someone's overnighting here in an RV, so this does look like a spot. But I want to go for a walk up in those hills just for fun. Well, we've come across the Boca campground, which is the one on the west, and that's down here. There's a sign there that says there's a boat ramp up ahead. I think I'm a couple miles into walking these roads and trails, so a little out of breath. Like a smarty, I didn't even bring a drink with me. Just kind of what I do. Start walking now, think about it later. So we'll walk down to this campsite, see what it looks like. There you go. 20 bucks a night. $10 worth of pass discount. These are your passes they recognize. Senior pass, handicap access pass, golden, and so handicap and senior basically get $10 a night. 2 vehicles maximum per site, $5 per extra vehicle. There's a camp host back there, and here's a sign. You've got 22 sites. Keep your pets on a leash. And we'll just walk through here briefly. Don't want to get anybody on film. Here's a sample of a site. You've got a picnic, fire pit behind that, and then you've got a bear box on this campsite. And you can kind of look through the trees. You can see other campers. Not a whole lot of privacy. And there is a restroom. And I want to see if that's a playground up there. What that is, I see something. No, that's not. That's just a red tent way up in the distance. But, yep, you're pretty close to the lake. It's not a bad deal if you've got the handicap or senior pass. 10 bucks a night's not bad. But $20, and they don't even have running water. I don't know. I just don't know. We're at the boat launch. There's restrooms. Big paved parking area. It's paved all the way in to here. And then we get over this little hill. That'll take you down to the water. But I don't see any pavement actually reaching the water access. I talked to the camp host, and this water is pretty low, so I guess sometimes it's higher. Drought conditions or whatever being what they are, but okay. This is your this is your paved boat launch. And there's the water. I guess you'd have to back all the way down there to launch a boat. It looks hard packed from use. Some gravel mixed in. Campsite's over beyond those trees. Cell service getting out towards the back of the west camping area kind of drops off a little bit. But I think we'll wrap this one up here and head down the road. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to follow along with the journeys, or if you're interested in seeing some more of the free campsite places that I find. And what else do we have? Okay, I'm adding one more little clip at the end here, which was going to be my next stop. I was going to stop at Boca Reservoir, but there's no free camping here, so to access this you have to stay at the Boca Reservoir if you want to stay for free. Otherwise you have to pay.